Well, our next guest comes in with Fox Valley Technical College as we focus on careers, highlighting careers of promise here in the Fox Valley area. And today we're going to learn more together about the Substance Use Disorder Counseling Program. And joining us here today is their department chair, Miah Olson, with Substance Use Disorder Counseling. Miah, good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here today.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to dig into this program a little bit and learn more about the impact students are having in the Fox Valley and beyond. But we first like to get to know our guests just a little bit. So if you could please tell us about yourself and how Fox Valley Tech came to be part of your career.
Yeah, I take great pride in being the department chair of the Substance Use Disorder Counseling Program because that's the program that gave me the start. I was kind of uncertain after high school and eventually got to Fox Valley Technical College and went through the Substance Use Disorder Counseling Program, which was called the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Counseling Program back 24 plus years ago. Graduated from that program and worked as a substance use disorder counselor for about 19 years before I came to Fox Valley Technical College and then started teaching full-time at the college.
Excellent. I love hearing everyone's backstory. So, and like so many different instructors, you have some real experience and then you came to teach.
Yeah, absolutely. I got hired straight out of my internship at Winnebago Mental Health Institute and worked there for 16 of my 19 years in the profession and worked my way up to being a supervisor at the facility, which is a state psychiatric hospital, which provides substance abuse counseling and mental health services on several of the wings there. And I've worked at several other different agencies throughout the years too, providing substance abuse services there as a counselor too.
Excellent. Well, tell us a little bit about the program itself. I know it's an associate degree. Maybe you can give us a little history lesson of how long it's been part of the college, too.
Yeah, that's the trick question. I got to dig into that a little bit more, but it's been there. It's been there for at least 24 years because I graduated 24 years ago. So that's about all I can tell you in regards to the history. I know I'm at least the third department chair within the program. And sorry, I missed the rest of your question there.
Well, maybe we can just talk about what substance abuse disorder counseling sort of is and what job outlook maybe looks like for those with this program as well.
Oh, for sure. So substance abuse counseling is a specialty in terms of the counseling profession. Like you'll hear kind of counseling and therapy thrown around as two different words to describe different types of helping professionals. And substance abuse counselors get licensure within the state of Wisconsin to provide counseling services to people who struggle with alcohol and drug abuse. And that's just their small niche. If you want to provide more therapy or counseling services like work in the mental health realm or do marriage and family counseling, you have to go on and get more schooling, typically a master's degree to do those types of therapies. But the Substance Use Disorder Counseling Program is an associate's degree program that typically takes about 2 years, a little bit more for some folks, depending on how many classes that they want to take. And in that process, they will get an in-training license and start to provide counseling services at one of the agencies in the area and eventually work their way up to being a clinical substance abuse counselor.
Excellent. So what does the curriculum look like? What do the class loads look like for students in this program?
It's a mix of in-person practicing the counseling skills and techniques. For example, we have an intro to interviewing class in which we focus on assessments and individual counseling sessions. And then we have a group facilitation class in which we do group counseling. Those types of classes are more interactive in the classroom. And then we have several other more textbook-based classes, theory-based classes that look at different counseling approaches, that look at understanding substance abuse and addiction in general, We have an assessment class and a case management class, which are the sarcastically fun parts of the job in which we have to do a lot of paperwork. And then we have an overview of mental health disorders class, because addiction and mental health go hand in hand. You generally won't find one without the other. So we have to have an understanding of mental health disorders too. And I think that's kind of a good overview of the classes. I would say we're at about a 50-50 ratio, in which 50% of our classes are more of those in-person lab type classes, and the other 50% are more theory textbook type classes.
Interesting. And I'm sure what kind of, stuck out to me as you were describing some of those classes actually is the interviewing course that you offer, because I'm sure in learning to be a substance use disorder counselor, you need to learn how to get to know people and get to know their struggles and their trauma and their grips on things too. So what an interesting course to take to kind of learn how to get to know people.
Yeah, that's a real specialty within our profession too, because you have to get to know somebody relatively fast and on the spot. Mm-hmm. So like the first part of our job is to do an assessment, and we basically ask a lot of personal questions and try to get a person or get to know a person really well, really quickly. And it takes time to get comfortable with a person. So we really work hard to develop good rapport quickly with the client, so that hopefully they provide honest and detailed answers so that we can help them as best as we possibly can. Some of our clients are really guarded and have significant trauma and trust issues, and they struggle to open up to us. So that's one of those skills that we work really hard to do the best we can, because if we don't have good relationships with our clients, we're not going to be very helpful.
Yeah. So that being said, what kind of student are you looking for? Who might thrive in this type of program? What things maybe should they be interested in or skilled at to make them a success in this program?
First of all, those good interpersonal skills are really important. Being able to communicate. When I say communicate too, it's not just talking. It's being able to listen, being able to kind of decipher what the client is saying and meaning, and being able to follow up with good open-ended questions that will be helpful. I don't think there's one type of person that is best for this profession, because I think each of us kind of needs our own individual counselor, and that counselor is going to vary in styles. So I think it takes good communication skills, and it also takes good boundaries. This is one of those professions where it can be taxing. And you have to set limits for yourself, and you have to set limits with your clients and not cross those boundaries, because that's where you're either going to get in trouble or where you're going to burn out in the profession because you're not taking care of yourself well enough.
Interesting. All right, we're going to pause here, but when we come back, we'll talk further about where students are finding jobs, where they're being hired, and this program, just a step sometimes for some students into continuing into this area of study. We'll talk more about what those paths might look like as we highlight substance use disorder counseling and a program through Fox Valley Technical College. It's our focus on careers. We'll return after this. Welcome back. Focus Fox Valley with you today, and our focus on careers, helping us learn more about the substance use disorder counseling program. We have their department chair, Miah Olson, joining us here today, helping us better understand the program. And I think a lot of questions that folks have when it comes to college programs is, all right, what kind of positions or job would a student be prepared for with this associate degree? So, yeah, Miah, what are you preparing, I guess, students to enter the workforce with?
Yeah, one of the things I didn't talk about before was actually our program comes with an internship, and that really helps our students transition into jobs as substance abuse counselors. So the college has great support from pretty much every treatment center, from Appleton to Oshkosh to Manitowoc to Green Lake to Wapaka. We have agencies that we work with, and we get our students into internships there. And then a lot of the times it turns out to be a job. So we have students commonly getting hired at Apricity, which operates a mooring house in Casa Clare. Those are residential treatment facilities where clients stay usually between 30 and 45 days to get treatment for alcohol and drug abuse. We have students getting hired at the Drug Abuse Correctional Center, which is a minimum security prison down in Oshkosh, in which clients complete a treatment program to get out of prison earlier. We have people working at the opioid treatment programs in Appleton and Oshkosh, the Oshkosh Correctional Institute Prison, Winnebago Mental Health Institute. Like, they all have jobs in which they're providing alcohol and drug abuse counseling services to their clients or people in their care. And the counselors are doing a lot of similar things in their role, where they're assessing the client that we talked about, and we make a recommendation for what level of care they need. And then they also provide individual and group counseling, developing treatment plans that help the clients achieve goals to help in the long term with their success. There's a lot there, and there's a lot of different agencies in this area that are providing great services to clients with substance abuse issues.
There really are. You mentioned several there, Miah, that actually have been guests on this program as we highlight, substance abuse and such. But I find it also very bittersweet to know we have so many places for these students to be hired, because that means that there are so many folks out there struggling with substance abuse issues. Can you speak to that reality and, the role that your students are playing in helping people maybe, overcome something that's really a traumatic and tricky thing in life?
Yeah, there's a couple interesting sayings that counselors say. One of them is that they're hope dealers, and I think that our students who become counselors and the counselors that are out there, they're making a difference every single day in multiple people's lives, trying to help change their life for the better. And the problem is not going away, and unfortunately, the problem seems to be growing. The job market has never been better because there is such a need. But that also being said, there's not enough counselors out there to provide services for those that need it. Much like with anything that's billed through health insurance, the services are not easy to get for some people, and some people don't have health insurance or don't have good health insurance, so they're using systems that are really taxed and don't have enough counselors to provide those services. So hopefully we get more students through our program and continue to put those good quality counselors out there to help more and more people, because that is definitely a need.
Absolutely. We are really lucky to have this program at Fox Valley Tech. But also, is this a program where students can take their education a bit further? And if so, what do you see your grads doing after they complete the program at Fox Valley Tech?
Yeah, that was absolutely part of my journey. Like, I went on and got my bachelor's degree in psychology and then my master's degree eventually. But a lot of my students go on and become social workers, psychologists, human service workers, marriage and family therapists. There's a lot of different avenues they can take this 2-year degree, and a lot of colleges will take Fox Valley Technical College's credits as transfer credits, so they don't have to take as many credits when they go on to another school. I think from a job market perspective, it's been very beneficial for students who go on and get a social work license and have that license along with the alcohol and drug abuse counselor, because there's a lot of agencies that are looking for social workers with the alcohol and drug abuse counseling credential. So it makes them more valuable to the agency that they come and work at.
Well, Miah, as we've talked a lot about the program, I'm hoping there might be listeners out there who are intrigued or maybe want to share with, their son or daughter, or want to pass along to a potential student. Where can folks find information about the program and learn more about what's offered at Fox Valley Tech?
Yeah, the Fox Valley Tech website is www.fetc.edu and then /SUDC. So you also can do a general search in the Fox Valley Tech website for substance use disorder counseling program too.
Excellent. Well, Miah, thank you again for being part of the program here today. It's always great to learn more about the different areas of study at Fox Valley Tech, and of course, connect to several employers in the area as well. Thanks again for being here, and we wish you a happy holiday season.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
Absolutely. And of course, you can find more information about this program, fvtc.edu. Just search Substance Use Disorder Counseling, and you will be